like it?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. We're gonna do that. Get that ladybug set up right off the bat for success. She's set up right in the perfect spot for me to really get the outline for her and all that. Huge Polyphia fan, and I mean these guys, the musicians, man, they cross over all sorts of genres, man. It's just like wow, jazz, heavy metal, everything, yeah.
To make some more,
yeah.
That's an artist. So.
So you're majoring in anything?
Sports medicine.
Sports medicine. Okay, heck yeah. Years ago, my best friend was Assam, and though he dropped out of it, he had like over 300 clients, worldwide, and he wrote training regimes, wrote their diet logs, professional athletes, and that's where it's really at. Have you gotten into any active release therapy?
No.
Okay, no. Charles Poliquin, all that, yeah.
No.
You'll learn about him. He was the originator of what's called active release therapy. As an athlete, every day you're training, you're micro tears, everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the body's going to injure itself at some point. What is the best way to recover from it in a non-surgical manner to where you're correcting whatever altered proprioception had happened during that injury, at the same time, and that's exactly what ART addresses. Mark Z, years ago, he was one of the football coaches here at the U of A. Him and I became real good friends, and he was a level 4 ART practitioner. Okay. And he was like one of the few people back then that I could talk to training-wise, and it just, and him and I understood each other. Dude, sports medicine is phenomenal.
I'll be a sports trainer and physical therapist. Physical therapist.
Do both.
Yeah, I'm doing both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sports trainer is more like a not really a side gig, but I can still do it daily.
Well, this is where you incorporate both of them as a business. You always look at yourself as a business, even if you're working for somebody else. You're your own business, especially within that, because you're selling yourself, right? And these are all soft skills that you can bring together for a handful of athletes at a higher price. Hey man, not only am I NASA or into sports medicine and everything else, I write routines, I can do this. We can also, the injuries that you have, we can recover those also at the same time. That's, when you start getting those multiple levels like that, that's where the universities want you and stuff like that, because now you feel multi-roles.
My mom was making business out of it too.
Yeah, there you go. The sucky thing about that, and the reality of it is, people ain't going to follow your routines. It sucks. I know, because I've been there. And like I said, my best friend, he passed in 2010. He wanted me to really get into it and everything else. I was training hard, man. But outside of that, just the reality of writing your routines for people, your diet and stuff like that, getting them to follow it, it can be frustrating. So prepare for that, even athletes. I know they don't talk about it and stuff like that much, probably in the college curriculums. But you know, that is a reality of it. You know, that people ain't gonna follow it. You know, here's you know the ideal way how it should go, right? You know, hey, you follow this plan. You know, we'll get through this cycle, then we'll move on to the next. You know, get your general physical preparedness out of the way, then we'll start looking at your sport-specific training.
Yeah.
You know, it just. But some people don't follow all the way through, right? I mean, they don't have certain weaknesses, certain deficiencies within their muscle structures, things like that won't allow them to start getting into the sport-specific stuff without injuring themselves. You know, it's you can't push it to a certain level, as you know, without having those deficiencies met. It's like grip strength, you know. If you ain't got the grip strength, you ain't pulling a deadlift. You know, that's much more than your own weight.
Yeah.
Without assistance, you know, without straps and stuff, or even gloves.
Even with that, you still need grip strength.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love watching like Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, great guys too. I mean, and they're fighting together, you know, hanging out and training together, but. But they understand cyclic training, you know, as far as going in, you know, doing your maximal efficiency, you know, then coming, you know, for your 10 to 12 weeks until your body plateaus, you know, and even then, in between, you're still running anywhere between 4 to 6 different routines to hit your 5 major muscle groups, right? You know, and everything else is your ancillary work. But within that, it's you got to get past those sticking points, and a lot of people try to just cut the corners. You know, because I want them. Okay, don't do all your warm ups. Yeah, well, you don't destroy your shoulders, man. Do you know who Dave Tate is? Elite fitness training out of Columbus, Ohio. He's one of the top strength and conditioning coaches in the world. He trained under Louis Simmons from Westside Barbell. Now, Louis Simmons was the U.S. Olympic powerlifting coach for like years, and he's the one who actually changed everything because he had been in.
Is he a strength and conditioning coach in the NFL?
No.
Okay. I thought you were talking about.
There's Jim Wendler.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Jim Wendler in '95 walked onto the U of A field and became a fullback by walking on. And while in college, he was considered the strongest athlete on the field, both in college and professional NFL. Guess who he was training under? Dave Tate.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was like 315 pounds doing pull-ups all day. You know, I mean, just, and under 10% body fat, you know, it just, and, Jim Wendler's a group, man, phenomenal trainer, too.
Yeah, what I've noticed, like, fat, like, really does matter. Like, it matters how much, like, you have and don't have, like, what, like, being athlete-wise, like, especially, like, football and track, it's different. Track, you have to have, or high jump wise, you have to have less because people fat don't fly. You know, so you have to have less, way more. Like, that's why they're all skinny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even then, I think throughout the year you'd want to do another type of cyclic training, right? One that's going to focus more on your plyometric, the different steps of plyometrics within, you know, say one that's within your steps leading up to your high jump, your actual spring off. I mean, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, I get pretty detailed.
Yeah, but I love plyos. Plyos are my favorite. Plyometrics are my favorite.
Yeah, you know, it just where you go for, you know, your straight up your neural strength, right? You know, I mean, here we go with okay. Powerlifting, right? I mean, it just, now there's conjugate training, which is that more like power building. It's, you know, that's 6 to 8 rep range. You know, that you know, these guys are hitting that are finding that, wow, you know, I can increase my strength along with that.
Yeah.
But I think some of the neurological gains are lost through it, and you still plateau. Peter Sisko in the 90s had done some research on the central nervous system and strength. Why can't an old lady pick up a car off of a baby?
Yeah.
Because it's a neural strength. So he just really did CNS, you know, that central nervous system research, and he found that falls back to Louis Simmons. Never trained with him, but you know, he knew of him and knew that he had went over to Russia, and he started looking at some of the stuff that Louis Simmons had brought back when Russia had invited him over, you know, kind of like an exchange type thing. Because, well, let's face it, up until the early 70s, Russia was handing everybody their ass in powerlifting in the Olympics. Nobody could touch it. The Eastern Bloc.
Russia?
What's that? Russia. Oh yeah, that was Russia. Now with that, when Louis went over there, he watched some guys walk in, load up 35% of their 1 rep max, just walk in, yank it as fast as I could and hard as I could once, and walk out the gym. Sound weird, don't it? Yeah. These guys were the ones winning the gold medals. He couldn't figure it. It was Peter Sisko who figured it out. It was because they were supercharging their central nervous system. It wasn't muscular strength they were after. They were looking at increasing their neurological system, and then their muscle system would catch up with it.
Makes sense.
So all initial strength gains are neural.
Fast twitch muscles.
Well, yeah. I mean, now we're talking, you know, fast twitch, slow twitch, you know, slow twitch type 2, or fast twitch type 2. Sorry, it's been a while since I've talked the talk, man. But yeah, you know, I mean, and genetics, man, genetics come into play. People don't realize genetics are huge play. You know, endomorph, ectomorph, you know, mesomorph, all of that all comes in.
I think like less. What is it? You get some of like your parents type. What is it? You talking about like DNA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, genes. You know how I got.
Okay, we're still doing that. Interesting. Just started to ramp back up, getting into training again myself. My brother passed away 2 years ago, and just after he passed, man, I just, you know, it's kinda.
Did he get into that like that stuff?
My
too?
brother, no,
No.
he was disabled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, just last few years of his life, you know, I just was there for him in the manner that he needed. You know, and once that was gone, it was just like, okay, well now what? What do I do? No, don't lose the music. Dang it. No. I don't know. I'll find out here.
I was messing with the playlist.
You like the playlist? Over here. Take the glove off. Totally shut that. Music.
You think your is numb?
Exactly.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, YouTube would. But hey, you know. Yeah. No, just kidding. Calling it bitch cream. What? No, just kidding.
Well, my teammates think they think I use that, and I'm like, bro, I like tattoos.
Dude, we got a live that you don't. So yeah, they can kiss my arse. If they want to go slapping it, just point them out. I'll find them. And this is where you let them know also that I used to do riot containment.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm...
I get it.
Oh, yeah.
You see this?
I ain't afraid of being hurt. See all the scars, man? Yeah.
You see this chip on
See this tattoo? No, that one. Underneath it.
Yeah,
No, underneath it. No, not that. The one that's underneath that. That's under that. Yeah. That's... Says I'm badass, alright. Ow, you hit me! Hit me in the nose! What the f... That hurt!
Just send them a snap. Be like, look, I'm not being a bitch. I didn't use anything.
They better not slap this shit. I'll be mad. Really. A lot of hard work into it already. Even before we started. Slapping it will piss it off. I know how people get grab ass and shit. I had a cousin growing up, everybody called him Hercules.
Hercules?
Yeah, I mean, he set state records and stuff. He's kind of good. Yeah, no, he was one that's, you know, we a bunch of us cousins all lived together, and, you know, within like a quarter acre of each other on a vast lake.
Was he like just strong? Is that what you called him?
Well, no, I mean we had dirt roads everywhere, and while he was kind of like born and raised on those roads, and so if he wanted to get anywhere, he had to run. And yeah, and he was tall and lanky like you know, it just wide receiver, you know, I just nobody could catch him if he caught the ball.
Really?
And,
What? I gotta make the most of my sitting here. I'm almost there. Huh? That's okay. I don't need it. I'm not addicted to my phone. What?
yeah, no, I unplugged too. No, I get what she's saying, because you know it's the doom scrolling. You know, it just
I was, and then
yeah, it just but you know it's you can't, you know, forgive me, because you know until you're ready, walk away from it. Keep doing it, man.
now instead of my screen
Because then you'll just
time,
wrestle with it.
my tattoos go away.
Your tattoos go away?
So instead of screen time, tattoo time.
Heck yeah. And screen time while you tattoo. I mean, nah, you know, it's I get it. It's a way to stay connected and stuff like that too. You know, it's some fun stuff too. You know, and everybody has to have their release. You know, just that deload of the day. You know, it just.
This is my dealer, right?
Sorry about the camera. Oh, I know you can't see it, but yeah, no, this camera goes in and out. It's sitting there going in and out, and it's just like, yeah, that thing sucks. I think it's my computer more than anything, but I need to upgrade it. Just a second. guy that's playing right now is from my day, Steve Vai.
He's just a guitar?
Yeah. Well, he's the one who came up with the 7-string guitar first.
Oh, okay.
And this guy that's the 2 guitars that are playing with this group, Polyphia, they play like 7 and 8 strings now. And he's doing bass techniques on the guitar, which changes up the bass player's role 100%, which I totally digs. I'm a bass player, so it's one of those things. Sorry.
No,
Gets me excited.
Yeah.
Music. I do love music too. I'm an artist.
I play trumpet.
Okay. Oh, you understand then. Heck yeah, man. Dude, I seen Maynard Ferguson. You know Maynard Ferguson? Dude, he was from way back in the 50s and 60s, in the jazz scene, and probably more 60s, 70s.
I love blues. I like blues.
Okay. But it was high school jazz. I played high school jazz band,
okay.
yeah. And we were up at NAU at one of the jazz conferences up there. Got to see Maynard first. Big old, just get down on the trumpet, brother.
Is it the one with he blew with his cheeks?
Oh yeah, Yeah, gets those big, chipmunk cheeks going. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember he did, because you're supposed to supposed to squeeze, so you wouldn't. But he did it differently, and I think that's what. Yeah.
There was a couple players that like 2 or 3 that did a real different word, unorthodox, right? I think that'd be the proper term.
It just looks like it hurts.
Dude, I don't know. I never.
But it does.
I never got into wind instruments. I tried a few, but they just weren't my thing.
Yeah.
Always wanted to play sax.
Sax?
Yeah. It just, again, even I tried, wind instruments. It just wasn't my thing. I can't repeat that. You're a brat. Can't repeat that. I could, but I'd probably get me. Woo, it got hot in here. Actually, yeah, I could say soft nowhere it ain't on there. I don't play wind instruments, but I'm good with one now. It's coming from the last hand. The same. Ooh, yeah, it got hot. Somebody I love very much. That's me. Looks like you, man. See, they go from that to this. Dude, they're just so versatile. I think it's Korean. What they're speaking. The guitarist, he looks like he's part Korean. So. Hold on. My camera's even turned off. There we go. Then they go back to this, right? Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but probably best I don't. About using my fingers on my strings, finger my bass. I call it finger painting my bass because I play Motown, funk, whatever. It
So
just
you have your own?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've ever since I was a kid, music. It just my dad introduced me to music at a young age, and love it, man. Learned how to jam, where it just okay. Hey, this is the chord, and start jamming, man. Play this chord. Okay, play this. Okay, switch to this chord. Okay, bam. You know, and that's how we played. And now, I mean, it's stuff like, yeah, well, what song you want to play? Sure, you don't want to just jam? What's that? It's just like, well, I'll play some notes and you play something over it. How's that? You know, that's what I like doing. You know. Oh God.
Okay. It's too far, dude. Your finger banging is next level.
You just like making me sweat. See, women like suffering of some sort. It's all good. My best friend. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's just phenomenal relationship. First real relationship I've had. Truly. Had an idea when I was younger what I thought it was, but not so far off, man. Yeah, you know, and that's it, you know, is let it grow, man. But see, we never realize how much things that happen to us that we have no control over. Things, you know, people say things, people do things to us as kids, you know, that we have no control over, and you know, and we're left, you know, and it affects our relationships. It affects everything we do. And until it's dealt with, you know, we repeat cycles. And if I can give any advice, you know, if there's brokenness that you see now, seek therapy. And start, you know, getting that healthy stuff, the healthy responses in your life there. You know, if not, man, age. Dude. You know, it's looks like you got a lot going for you. And, you know, it's everything worth having in life is worth struggling for. Things that we get quick and come quick aren't lasting. And that's my observation in life. Just old man's point of view, man. I'll be 55 this year. Worn many hats in life. I've done many things, but greatest journey's still ahead of me.
That's right. Only more 50 years.
It ain't up to me, but you know, hey, it's I'm not gonna live like I'm not. You know, it's just but you know, it's there's a specific psalm that I really love, and it's Lord, teach me to number my days, that I may gain a heart of wisdom. You know, we'll take our last breath at some point. We all struggle. We all have hurts. We all have these that trying to fulfill in our life, right? You know, but at the end of the day, man, it's how people truly what's in our heart. You know, And sometimes, you know, that takes time to realize, you know, that, you know, for me, I always treated everybody always good, you know, and just, like I said, I really did riot containment for years down in Puerto Rico. And I wasn't a nice person back then, you know, and it just definitely ain't the person I am now.
Yeah.
In some regards. There's still essence of me there, but fucking trauma. A lot of things I see that I didn't accept as trauma. That's replayed in my head over and over and over. And it was a friend years ago that told me, hey, that is trauma. If you're replaying it over in your head over and over, it's trauma. Just because it doesn't feel negative doesn't mean that it's not trauma. But this is where, you know, stuff like the mental health advocacy and all that, you know, I mean, it just, I lost a lot of friends to suicide over the years. So those things are very near and dear to my heart, you know, just people getting help that they need, you know, if they're struggling, things like that, you know, and just getting the right tools, you know, and it's, let's face it, the world sucks sometimes. People are crappy to each other. We're crappy to each other, you know, at times. Get moody, get grumpy, you know. The older I get, the worse it gets. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But dang, it starts to sound like my dad. Just kidding. Love you, Dad. But yeah, you know. Yeah, sorry. Now they're using the base triggers too. And I'm wondering if it's actually the bass, the actual bass player versus the drummer hitting the triggers. That I want to see. Bass player, I want to know how he's getting the sound.
Thank you again.
Oh, absolutely, man. Love my job, love what I do. And, well, sit down, shut up. No, just kidding. Dude, there's artists like.
Yeah.
Well, I zone out, and I fully admit, I zone out. I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
Is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
How long you been at Pima?
I'm a freshman. So
Okay.
first year.
Oh, okay, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. One more year after this, and we'll go. University.
Yeah, man. You already, I mean, you know where you want to go, or are you shooting for?
I'm gonna go to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Probably Wisconsin or Florida.
Okay.
Or Texas.
Well, Texas is definitely flat enough in areas. Do some cross-country training.
I lived in Texas for 8 years when I was younger, so
Okay.
kind of liked it. I like the weather. A lot of people say I'm weird for that, but I like the weather.
What part of Texas?
I was from some small area called Brownwood.
Okay.
It's next to Dallas, like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay. Well, shoot, do you north or south of Dallas?
Probably, I think east or south. Something like
Okay.
that.
All right. I live north of Dallas, Lake
Okay.
Texoma.
Oh, Oma, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Lake Texoma. I grew up on that lake partly all my teen years. And boy, we terrorized those towns, man. I'm afraid to admit some of the stuff we did, you know, statute of limitations and stuff, man. There might not be statute of limitations on some of it. Let's get. They do a no-knock raid right now. It's like, dude, it's a business.
When I was thinking, like, I was gonna get the same thing, but I was thinking about getting my arm just blacked out.
Oh, wow.
Blacked out and then get it whitened. I was thinking about that. And I was like, you know, 'cause I wanted that for the photo, too light for that. I think it was a bit off. What do you think?
I think it depends on how it was done.
Yeah.
Honestly, everything's in context, right? You know, what kind of design and you know, would you put underneath it? You know, as far as geometric stuff, you know. I mean, shoot, there's so many avenues you can go with that. But I think, yeah, you know, having it at least somewhat in your mind the direction you want to go as far as style of patterns, because there's so many different styles of patterns out there, just like fonts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a million fonts out there. So it's always a blend of what's tattooable, what's going to last longest. You know, as far as for me, you know, this is what I'm, you know, after so long doing this. When I was younger, this wasn't my considerations, you know, but now longevity of the tattoo. How's it going to look, you know, whatever was done on you in 30 years, 20 years, you know, and there's a lot of tattoos being done out there without that being taken into consideration. And it looks really great first, all that, man. I'd give it some time. Those things will end up looking like hammer dog crap.
Yeah.
And they will. It just...
Have you done a blackout? Have you done a...
I've done some blackout work, like form and stuff like that. But yeah, doing a full blackout sleeve like that, no, I haven't. I've wanted to. Just not many opportunities.
Yeah.
But if you're down, I'm definitely down.
The only like really black that I was thinking about was I was gonna get not a lion, but I was getting a panther on my right arm.
Okay.
I probably on my right arm or this one. On my not forearm but the back.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that'd go great with this style too. You know, like the Japanese style panther.
But just like the face and the eyes.
Okay, the head one. Okay, heck yeah.
I'll definitely come back so you can do that one.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's not blackout, but it's, you know, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Hey.
Whatever you want it done, man, we'll get it rocked out. Love to be yours. Always be honest. Sometimes it may not be exactly what you want to hear, but I'll be honest. You know, I'd rather be that way. You know, you know, there's no unexpected, you know, things come up. You're like, man, I didn't know I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes stuff looks great on paper too, and then you put it on skin, and just you know, the contours of the body, stuff like that, just doesn't look good. You know, so a lot of things, you know, that go into consideration on the price of it. Anywhere I'd charge anywhere, but all the work I do before this thing gets turned on.
That's the most important.
80% is the prepping. And so, I mean, and I don't charge until that thing's and even then, you know, when I'm going by the hour, it's timer on this. Go by that.
Oh, really? Dang.
Oh yeah. So it's only when that's running. You take breaks, stuff like that. Yeah, not on the timer, man. A lot of times I'm here 10, 12 hours.
So you mostly go for hours?
It depends. It depends on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Really depends on what I'm
most
doing.
of what you tattoo is mostly.
Yeah. When I price stuff, it's kind of based upon that. You know, I look at it, and be like, okay, well, this kind of like a mechanic. A mechanic decides about how much time that they got to put into it, the cost of the equipment into it, stuff like that, and it's kind of a similar process. And I'm looking at that going, okay, well, you know, I got to use these needles, I got to use this. Okay, it's going to cost me this much to supplies to go. Okay, this is, you know, how long it's going to take me, and take me to set up for it, you know, to draw it out. A lot of the stuff I do is also custom, so You know, just like you were saying, hey, you know, want this or that. All right, well, shoot. If you know you're wanting to get it within a few weeks, hit me up beforehand. I'll get it drawn up for you.
So much.
Well, I can, man.
If you could guess, how much do you think what I was talking about?
The head. Hey,
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you, dude.
Good seeing you too. Thank you. Yeah. Thank
Yeah, man, no worries. You're in good hands with Martin.
you.
He knows what he's doing.
As we drive over the cliff. Well, you got to choose whether you're Thelma or Louise, though. I don't care. I'll wear any dress. No, just kidding. Oh, wait. All right.
My wife just told me how to take Apple Pay. I didn't know. Just my phone number. You just use my phone number.
Okay.
I leave at 6 a.m. Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Nebraska.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you're surprised?
Yeah.
Was it a quick notice, like, oh, you're going with it?
No, I contract for this company called Chromeworks, so I go to like all the big motorcycle events where
Oh,
we
okay.
install exhaust pipes on Harley Davidsons for them. So this company Chromeworks is based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Go out there and show their appreciation by promoting the brand. I don't know what that is.
A little vacation there?
I guess go see, you know, Nebraska.
Have you been to Nebraska?
No, it's
No?
one of the only states I haven't been.
Yeah.
I haven't been to North Dakota, Alaska, or Hawaii.
All right.
Interesting. They wanted to have us tour the factory. I think they want like a demo, higher ups for the brass, so to speak. So
Sounds like some fun adventure.
changing the pay schedule a little bit.
Oh, heck yeah. Good stuff. Go fishing? Huh?
That would be. I don't know. I mean, I work for a contractor. Funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, I've had beach parties thrown with roasted pigs and oh yeah. Corporations, man, they're great.
So Chromeworks is part of this larger company called Lincoln Home Plate for like big rig bumpers, stacks, and
Okay.
massive. And they do a bunch of like aerospace stuff. They do a bunch of stuff for like all the handles and all the knobs that are chromed. Do all of that. Something. Out of the repair.
14.
Little mini split seems pretty good. Actually.
Dude, that thing, yeah.
It was 95 today, 96 today. I think. It's pretty cool in here, huh?
Yeah, not too shabby.
Good.
I noticed yesterday when I pulled up, this side, it was almost noon, that side lamp was still on.
Well, that one's always on, yeah. I just don't have it.
I didn't know if it was on a switch or anything that I could hit when I come in. Just looking at stuff to save you money too, you know? Really? Oh,
Well, those fucking solar lamps are fucking something.
dude.
I just thought. They weren't joking when they said 1,000 fucking. It's like daylight back there.
Yeah, Vlad said he's moving his coffin. It's too freaking bright.
I think I might have found a buyer for my truck.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh yeah, so God, I'm getting a truck given to me. Well, I got to do a little bit of help clean up property a little bit. I have a '98 Dodge Ram, and just for helping out, dude's dad had passed, and it was part of the Heroes Breakfast stuff. We did Oro Valley Police Department this morning up at Ina and Oracle. I can't remember the name of the place, but really great place. And afterwards, they came up to me and asked me, if I was interested in being on the board of directors, and I didn't say no, and I didn't say yes. I just like, okay, well, let's hear about it more, and just. I just don't want to take on too much right now. Yeah. But I mean that was all good, and we had some cops and
Got a truck.
well, not yet, but it'll be there. And then they asked about the veteran rescue mission vehicle. It's like, is that a vehicle? I'm like, well, I got my bike. I got to rejet it. I bought that. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, I got to get new jets. It's
It's a Bendix carb.
It's a knockoff Mikuni CV. Is a $40 Chinese Latu on there, and it works. Now I do have the Mikuni, and I figured I could just rebuild that one.
If you decide to and you want something better than that, I have a couple of Super E's that I can tell you if you build it to.
Okay. Okay.
That's always been my.
Well, I had a Super E so many years ago, and yeah, divorce.
See those fucking plates I pushed the other day? 813, dog.
Oh yeah. Took me a second. Heck yeah. Thought I seen one that was 863.
No, 8,
Okay.
14, 16.
How's your knees feeling?
Good.
All right.
One of my knees was a little bit taxed today, but not bad. This was the.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But I got 5.
Got 5 reps out of it, huh? Yeah.
And we started with fucking. We went from 10 plates to 12 plates to 14 to 16.
Okay, I was fixing to ask what kind of set rep were you?
But then we also did single legs before that, with just 245 plates.
Okay.
Just to warm up with single leg, and then 10 to 12.
What's your max?
That was it. 8. I could probably get one at 1,000, like 1,003, I think is what it is. No, it's 823. Then it's 913, and then it's 1,000. I could probably do the 1,000, but I don't think I'd do. Which is fucking ridiculous.
What about like actual squat, like with the bar?
I haven't really tried that. It's a completely different thing.
Oh,
so we're trying to strengthen everything else before we start doing powerlifting stuff.
Okay.
Eventually, I will get there, but I don't know how much. I don't really know. The chances of hurting yourself are far greater with that kind of shit. So may not ever really get into powerlifting. And then, like, I'm always going to natural, so like to really sell at that.
CME. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to go
gotta
chemical
do
muscle
that,
enhancements.
and I'm not. I think I can be fun about it.
But you feel stronger with it.
So fucking for you.
No, I disagree. I think that's indoctrination. But you know what it was originally built for, right? Or what it was developed to heal soldiers quicker. All that does is allow the body to recover quicker. That's all it does. Now, granted, there are other things, that do enhance things.
I think you can overdo anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything in moderation, right?
Yeah. And before I started down that journey, I was heavy. I had to read a bunch of books. I had to go get blood work done.
Were you in here when that guy came in and I did flips on his neck and I did his fucking old lady?
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
So he's been juicing. Well, he's hurt himself like really fucking bad more than once. He was benching like a ridiculous amount of weight and ripped both sides of his fucking pec. Like had to take like 9 months off to heal that. Like he's hurt himself.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Dude, when I did Anadrol, which you can only do for about 4 weeks, and it just because it's so hard on the liver, and it's they call it T17 alpha alkylated, for it to be it's an oral versus an injectable. So an oral will only, most of the times, your liver or your small intestine will destroy it, and it's same with like NSAIDs, your non-steroidal anti-inflammatories.
So why would people they take more meds for like what is it? More pills for like to help your kidneys still. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff for your liver, things like that. Milk thistle. I mean, there's so many things that you can take to get prepped for it.
Yeah.
But the first thing is your GPP. If you don't have your GPP down, man, and you're doing all that, or it becomes a lifestyle. Then you starts hurting because now his body ain't known anything different since he was 18 and he's 35.
I mean, so I read up on a lot of different things and like max weights that are achievable, and the fact that I've been training for 9 fucking months and can do over 800 pounds in a fucking leg press, like why the fuck do I want to juice for, homie?
Yeah.
Seriously, most people don't ever get there. So my trainer did 1,900 pounds a few years ago. That was a few. Like, you can't do that. 19. That's just retarded. Like,
I've got like videos squatting 650. Pulling 750 off the ground.
So my max squat right now is 450.
Okay, dude. Or as tall as you are? Heck yeah, man. Well, you about 190, 200?
150. I'm a
Nah.
high jumper. I gotta
Yeah, I guess you are pretty lean, huh?
I gotta fly. I gotta
Yeah.
fly over the bar.
Dude, how tall are you?
6'2", 16.
What? Holy cow, man! I bet you do fly like
I
Superman.
turn 19.
you turn 19?
Yes, sir.
I was the same weight as you when I was your age,
Yeah.
and I didn't really gain any weight at all until I was in my 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like.
I mean, even like in my late 30s, early 40s, I was like 170.
Dang.
So
My freshman year of high school, I was 99.
Huh. Oh, I bet you were fast
and
as
then
lightning, though,
one
man.
day, buddy, you're gonna wake up and you were like, I'm fucking too.
No, but now I have to really gain like I have to eat a lot more this summer just because I got turned into a decathlon, so that you're losing more calories, and you have to get bigger because now I have to throw shot put, discus, and I have to run a mile, so and I have to do pole vault. So it's all these other new events that I only came to Pima just to do high jump. Now he's putting me new stuff. It's like now he told me I have to eat like 35 pounds. I was like, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
you fucking try it.
Yeah, I was like, I got you.
You have the same metabolism that I did. It was
Oh
fucking-
yeah, man, you're an ectomorph all the way. Heck yeah.
That's impossible when you have the metabolism that I had back then.
I'll gain 5 pounds in a week, but then if I stop eating the way that I do, next
Instantly
day
lost,
I'm right back to normal. I'm like, what?
Back then I was trying fucking all sorts of shakes and shit. I mean, I was ingesting like 9,000 calories a fucking day
Just
in supplemental on top of what I was
Yeah.
normally eating. I didn't gain a
yeah,
fucking
nothing,
pound, man.
Yeah, you just get it out.
Did it all out.
Well, Leslie used to put it best. He'd tell people, he's like, listen, I can't take somebody who has the genetics of a fucking trash bag and turn them into a Greek golden god. Like, it ain't gonna happen. He goes, your genetics. That's why I said even at the beginning. Your genetics determine how you're gonna, what you're gonna be. Your genetical background. It all determines it. And Wesley went as far as to getting into ethnic backgrounds for diets. Because, okay, well, culturally, this is how your ancestors were raised. This is what your system is used to eating. So get your proteins and all this from this source, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean,
One thing I will
would've loved
say
Wes. He was a
for
great
being
guy.
thin like that for so fucking long, and I am ahead of the curve of most people that are my age that I went to high school with and stuff, they're all fucking out of shape and fat as fuck, bro. You know what I mean? And like, there's something to be said for peaking later. And I'm not as fucking worn out as all of them are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't been carrying around all that extra weight for 30 years. You know what I mean? And even like
See my
talking to my
peers?
trainer about like my progress, like in the 9 months, like we just hit 9 months, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, like you are way ahead of what I thought you were." That does have to do with the fact that I was thin for so fucking long is why I can pack on muscle now.
Yeah.
I'm also not fighting against having to lose all that fucking weight and gain muscle. All I'm losing a little bit of weight,
Yeah.
but mostly I'm just gaining muscle.
My whole life, I just wanted to be like big. I wanted to be like, because I had the height, but at the time I was playing football and basketball. So I was going to college. I was going to go to college for that. And they were like, well, unless you get a full ride, you have to get a game up. And you have to game. Didn't happen.
You're not gonna do it.
Didn't happen. So I was
No matter
like,
how much you wish or how much you fucking pack on, it's not going to change it. And one day you're going to wake up and you're that old man. You go, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? My wife took a picture of me during the pandemic. We were doing some work on the outside of the house or whatever. She took a picture of me. I said, when the fuck did I get fat? I thought you knew. I'm like, no, I didn't know. On a scale of like 235, I was like, what in the fuck?
dude, I'm the fattest I've been since I left. Since I left all, the dragon and all that. So much weight. So much weight. And yeah, since my brother died, I just,
We remember even when we were working together 15 fucking years ago, I was 175 pounds.
dude, I watch this guy do like one finger pull-ups. I mean, serious. On a door jam.
So back then, like I was a
On a door jam.
competitive rock climber, right? So like,
oh, okay.
so like I could do
Okay.
10 fingertip pull-ups on a door jam
Yeah.
at full lockout all the way up. And I mean, you could probably do it now, like
Yeah.
for your size. So
My
Yeah.
feet don't touch it. I have to like,
I have to tuck
bend my
up,
knee.
tuck
I have
like
to
that.
bend.
Yeah. But like even now, like doing dips and shit like that, like way heavier than I was.
I can do a lot of pull-ups. I can do a lot just because I'm light and I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So I can do a lot of pull-ups, but my hip, like everything's good besides my hips. And I'm a hurdler too.
You just got to
So-
strengthen everything
Oh,
around
yeah.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So first time doing the hurdler, coach put me in the 400 hurdles one time. First he's like, "You're doing the 400 hurdles," and I was like, "Okay." I mean, I did okay. I did pretty good, but my hips are just tight.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
like I'm a robot. Yeah. Like, yeah, you gotta change that.
There's a guy that's called Mr. Flexi. Mr. Flexi. Check him out on
Is
YouTube.
he the one that can fit in the box?
Um,
Like,
no, he's like this flex expert.
okay.
And he might have some solutions for your tight hips. I mean, because really, I mean, as you get older, man, it ain't gonna improve. Yeah, it ain't gonna improve if you ain't working on it now.
Yeah.
I was a tile setter for years, so I was always on my knees on the floor. And I was doing, just before I came to work for the Enchanted Dragon, I was doing flagstone, like 300-pound rock. And so in order to get the mortar bed underneath it, you're constantly picking them up and moving more and putting them down, picking them up, picking them up. And I was putting so much fucking pressure on my sacrum, my lower back, that my feet went numb. Right? And I was like, okay, that was disconcerting, but when I couldn't feel my fucking dick in my balls, I tripped out. And I went to Victor, and Victor got into my fucking hips and into my glutes and stuff. He goes, because there's videos about like buns of steel on the internet and shit. Yeah, but your fucking ass cheeks are so fucking tight that they're choking out this feeling to your lower extremities. So he gave me a bunch of exercises to do and stretches. One of them was just putting your foot sideways on the table
and then go down.
And going down.
Oh, yeah.
And just loosening up all that sacrum stuff. Like when I go to a chiropractor, I don't crack. They can't crack like that.
Oh, you do that like
I'm that fucking tight. Yeah.
Dang.
So, you know, my hips are the same way. I can't. Yeah, my shit's rock hard with very, very little mobility. But the leg press is definitely helping with that a little bit. Getting really super wide and trying to get super deep.
Good.
Yeah. Almost done.
The kid at the barber shop was like, I do the leg press like I do out, I do in, I do that. Like the weight that I'm doing, I can't do that. Like I have to put my feet stable as fuck in the absolute best position they can be
Because
in.
if it's not, your knees are...
My knees will
your
fucking
knees are,
turn in.
Yep.
And this knee likes to go in. So I constantly have to watch it. Make sure it's not twisting in. Well, I mean, my knees aren't great. So like working on all the muscles, tendons, and ligaments around.
Less pressure on you. You can't strengthen your ACL because your ACL is what is it? It's like you can surround the stuff that's around.
Yeah, it's just
around
cartilage.
you,
Yeah.
Ligaments are non-vascular.
Yeah.
Connective tissue.
That's blood flow.
Gotta get my fucking upper legs. I can't press for
I understand.
a little above my body weight.
Yeah.
But I've never really bench pressed like that. So not having that extra stability of being on a rail system.
Oh yeah, Smith machine doing bench. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different.
It has its validity. Don't get me wrong. It's people that be like, F Smith machines. It's like, yeah, you don't understand. You know, it does have a place, and you know, for the most part, yeah, it's so you can isolate the pecs without having to engage your
I can push more on
ancillary
the
muscles.
Smith machine in a decline bench than I can flat on a bench with a bar. Because it's all the other mechanics involved in it too.
The ancillary muscles, yeah.
You know, all that. So I just have to get all those mechanics down. Once I do, it'll be a different story. But for now, it's like just weird to have to control the weight and balance the weight and then push. So
Yeah, got to get all those stabilizers in.
Finally, I got stronger upper body because like preseason, all we did was just workouts on our legs. That's it. And then like this, I can only bench one plate for 10. When like coming into like college, coming to Pima, and then last week I could bench 2 plates for 6. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Progress, not perfect.
Yeah. But we never did
neural strength gains.
Yeah.
It was neural at
and
first.
it's also muscle memory too, and all those things.
But we've never done an upper. But I guess you would think about like we do like things that we have to use our arms for our legs. You know, like weights for Bulgarians, I guess. I don't know.
Depends on what I'm doing with my upper body. Like with like the bench press, I'm weaker than I am with anything that's pulling, like table pulling and stuff like that.
Or like wide grip, close grip type things.
Yeah. Like I'm working out with a group of guys, and they're all stronger in the bench than I am. But then I fucking weigh them on anything pulling. You know what I mean? Like this pronate to here, like that stuff. Like I'm at like or 180 pounds doing that shit, and none of those guys can even come close to that. But then when they're benching more.
Yeah.
But see, the body is a kinetic chain. Even if you're, say certain aspects of, like you're saying, when you're pushing, your stabilizers aren't kicking in, and this goes back to like grip strength and deadlifts, right? It just, if the hand strength ain't there, you have to use some type of supplement, like crafts and stuff like that, or a Smith machine, because you can pull from the ground too with the Smith. But the ultimate goal, right? I mean, especially with a deadlift, isn't necessarily your weight. It's about engaging everything in your body.
Right, and it's very, very choreographed and very controlled. And if you do it right, and then everything well, and which is why, like, my trainer is like, yeah, we could potentially get into that, but I'm always afraid because I don't want you to hurt yourself.
If there's only one lift I could ever do for the rest of my life, it'd be a deadlift.
Well, because it's everything.
Yeah,
it's your legs, it's your core, it's your upper body, it's all of it, your back, all of it.
They call it the king of all lifts.
Ready?
Sure.
You still need to pack.
And if there's a king, there's a queen. Or deadlifts. Squats. This is leg press, sorry.
It's getting stronger.
This is leg press. Getting
We
stronger.
had us deadlift a little.
Or leg press, I mean, same thing. It's those movements.
Yeah, that's how I broke my toe.
She can get back on some machines now after breaking her toe. My wife dropped a 45-pound plate on top of her toe.
How did you do that?
I was
Take it
putting
off
it
the
onto
rack.
the
The rack and unit.
yeah, and it just slipped off. And I broke my big toe in 3 places. Okay, it's healing, and I got back on the leg press.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
week. I was back in the gym a week later. Like
Okay.
it's whatever. I'm fine.
Never done that, just my fingers.
And apparently
Just
the broken toe with a 45-pound plate is a pretty common one.
Really?
Like a lot of people do that. Yeah, it sucked. It hurt.
Big toes. Oh no. Broke my pinky toe. But big toe, no.
Yeah, the big toe is the one you use.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
balance and everything.
And you don't realize how much you use it until you can't.
Yep. You
Yeah.
just start moving sideways.
Yeah, like I came back to work and I'm like, oh, I sit to tattoo. I'll be fine, right?
Mhm.
The first day I came back, everything I did was like on people's ankles. So placing the stencil, I'm like getting down on the ground and then coming back up. You use your toes for that. Like way more than you think you do. And then I was like, oh shit, I have to like hold on to something to get up. Like, fuck, this is different. But it's getting better.
That's
So.
good.
Yeah.
The biggest problem was that she broke it at the end of the week, so she had to wait to get into a podiatrist until the following week. Then she's laid up on the couch with the access to the internet.
Reading all the
Never
worst
gonna
case
do it.
scenarios, WebMD, you're gonna need surgery. Yeah, it was bad. 'Cause-
Reputation.
Yeah,
I did the same thing for my heel.
I've never broken a bone before,
Yeah.
so it was pretty traumatic
It was
considering,
the worst
know.
of all scenarios, man. Not digging it. My
Yeah.
wife doesn't stop. She moves all day long, so
Yeah,
to have to fucking sit was
it was hard.
excruciating.
It was hard.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good luck with your tattoo, man. I'm glad you came
Thank
in.
you. Yes, sir. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, for sure,
I'll
dude.
definitely be coming back. Thank you.
Martin, I'm going to stop by briefly tomorrow, but I don't have appointments. But I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
Enjoy being able to eat whatever the fuck you want to for the next 25 years.
Hey, that's my goal.
You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody else is going to be getting fat, and you're going to be like,
Heck yeah. Well, you did it.
You get to hear everything about being skinny, man. What somebody told me one time, they go, fuck, boy, if you stood sideways and stuck out your tongue, you look just like a zipper.
All right, brother. Be safe.
It was nerve-wracking too because at regionals, that's the last meet to qualify for nationals.
Oh, wow.
So after I did my 5 events, I jumped 6'8" and I qualified for outdoors.
Heck yeah,
It
man.
was nerve wracking, but hey.
Congratulations, that's awesome. You wouldn't have, somebody else would have, right? So I'm glad it's you. You said Tuesday you guys are going up against Kansas?
Yeah, no, we're flying to Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
we're going against, yeah. We'll see some big names.
Rinse cup and get some color for the red and just a little bit of white for the highlight.
Sounds good.
And then, I've got about another 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Didn't even hear the truck roll up. I'll start music.
Oh well.
I don't want this to end. 'Cause I fell asleep with my leg one.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this. Not gonna fall. The one thing I'm excited is my back. That's gonna be different. I'm not ready. I'm ready, but not ready for it.
What do you want done on your back?
I'm getting a tree on my side. For my
Okay.
family, and then wings.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Put some fine work on there. here. Rose. What the heck? off and see what you think. Don't like it, I got a razor blade and blowtorch, we'll take it right off, man. Comes off clean, cauterizes at the same time. My camera over here real quick. Well, I mean, you know how to take care of your ink by now, I'm assuming, right? Because you got, is it just this one, or?
Yeah, no, just this one.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Just this one, yeah.
Covered up. Wait. Yeah, on that sheet that I gave you too, there's also aftercare. What I put on you here, just leave cover till tomorrow morning.
Till tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning should be fine. Yeah, it's still. Maybe 4 to 6 hours.
4 6 hours?
4 to 6 hours. Go ahead and remove this covering and wash it thoroughly. Lukewarm water, your fingertips in a mild soap, something like Dove or Ivy bar soap. Stay away from liquid soaps, no antibacterial. Dove or Ivy works. Lather it up, rinse it off, lather it up, rinse it off, lather it off. Good. 8 to 10 times your first washing. That's going to ensure you get all the body fluids off your tattoo. Once you're done washing it, take a towel, pat dry it, let it air dry, good 10 minutes. Then you'll take a very small amount of A&D ointment, lotion, or your choice of what you want to use. Some people use like Aquaphor and all that stuff. You know what works best for you at this point. You know, whatever you used on your leg, man.
Good.
If you have any questions, you have my number.
Yes.
Shoot, text me, man.
I got you.
Keep it washed. More importantly than anything, keep it washed before you moisturize it. And whatever you put on, don't make sure it doesn't look shiny or your forearm looks shiny or feels greasy. There's too much on it.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people coat it and they'll leave it all shiny and stuff. Too much. Too much. It's got to breathe. So, and all the ointment's for is to moisturize the skin to keep it from drying out. Should be able to still run your fingers across it and snap.
I know that one.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and a lot of people make the mistake. So I try to educate everybody that I can. Oh yeah. Yeah.
A little bit. He said it's not.
Yeah, you're looking right at 350, brother.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you again. I like being talked to you.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I will contact you about that.
Okay. I mean. square on there.
Oh, you really work.
Mother's Day tattoo. Guys, good night.
Sorry guys, shutting it down here. Gotta get going. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna sign off. I'll text you here in a minute, baby. Hi guys, hey, thank you. I'll be back on tomorrow. I've got an appointment